Dritan, in light of the attempted assassination of President Donald Trump, how is this impacting the horse race here?
Great question. The horse race hasn't changed at all, or at least it hasn't changed yet, and it's to be seen what effect there is on the horse race. Last time we released polling together, Trump was ahead by 4 points when we looked at the two-way race between him and Biden. And then when you factor in undecideds, he was ahead by 2 points. Today, he's ahead by 3 points. And when you factor in undecideds, he's again ahead by 2 points, 51% to 49%. And the reason for that is because the electorate has dug its heels. Conventionally, the electorate breaks up in 40% who support one candidate, 40% who support the other candidate, and roughly 20% in the middle. They like both candidates, but they haven't made up their mind. Today, you have that 20% in the middle that doesn't like either of the candidates. They still haven't made up their mind. And events like this, which tends to play on sympathy, are less likely to move the horse race than strong positions on issues or a strong issue platform that really speaks to those undecided in the middle who basically say that they don't want either Biden or Trump to be on the ballot in November. And so no change so far, but we'll be monitoring very closely together with Forbes.
And let's talk about approval ratings specifically. President Biden right now sits at a 40%, and that's a similar number that you and I have been talking about now for months. But right now, we are less than 4 months away from an election. As an incumbent, what's that mean for him?
Well, I mean, it's certainly low, right? And as an incumbent, President Biden faces challenging prospects for re-election with an approval rating that's so underwater. The picture is also not much better when you look at Kamala Harris, whose approval rating is even lower at 39%, and who does even worse in the horse race in our poll compared to Trump. So the Democrats have to do something. The Biden campaign has to do something going forward, because the last month started off with 2 bad weeks for President Biden coming out of the debate, and now we're entering a cycle which is a positive cycle for President Trump. After he survived the assassination attempt, 2/3 of voters say that he showed great courage and bravery and defiance, standing up right away after the assassination attempt. So as the convention, the Republican convention comes to an end, A, we'll be looking whether or not there's a bump and the horse race changes meaningfully. But B, we also have to look at the Democrats and see what are they going to do to change the dynamic of the race right now, which isn't looking good for them.
And now let's move on down ballot here. How are both Republicans and Democrats feeling about Congress?
Well, Republicans have had an edge in our polling of about 1 to 2 percentage points when it comes to the congressional race. When you look at national polling, that's enough to make a big difference down ballot. Usually something like 86% of all Congress people who are running for re-election get re-elected. That's a historical statistic. And then it's really about 14%, in some cases less, that are really susceptible to competitive races. So that 1 to 2% that we've been seeing regularly in congressional ballot could make a big difference, and it very much tracks what we're seeing on a national level as well, with President Trump being at least 2 points ahead of President Biden, no matter how you splice and dice where the horse race stands.
Ever